Hello guys, good morning sa inyo lahat. Coach Carl here. So ngayon may pag-uusapan na naman tayo regarding to our fundamentals of trading. Dito meron po ako ditong prepare sa inyo na diagram na kung saan yung pinaka-major focus talaga natin is to identify whether yung Fed will hike or magkakaroon siya ng rate cut or mag-hold sila ng decision. Ngayon, the question is, ano ba yung nakakapagpa-apekto sa Fed based kung ano nangyayari dun sa economy and ano yung magiging reflection ng decision making nila dun sa ating trades. So, dito sa part na to, sobrang napakahalaga na alam natin ano ba yung nakakapagpa-apekto dun sa decision making ng Fed, bakit sila magkakaroon ng interest rate hike, magkakaroon sila ng interest rate hold, or magkakat sila. So, dun kasi sa pinaka bottom line na, no, na yon, no? Dun sa pinaka bottom line na yon, dun tayo makaka-identify ng opportunity to trade kasi meron tayong tinatawag na market cycle. So later on, ipapakita ko din sa inyo kung ano ba yung nangyayari through times pag nagkakaroon sila ng change of decision making sa interest rate nila. So dito makita nyo sa diagram, meron tayo ditong sa centerpiece nito, no, yung Fed interest rate decision. So ngayon, in terms of decision making, isa sa pinaka nakapa-apekto dun sa decision making nila is yung inflation. This one, inflation. And number two is yung employment. Number three is yung GDP. And yung number four is yung consumer spending. So, itong mga elements ng Fed, yan yung mga tinitignan nilang factors that yung numbers ng mga factors na to, yun yung pinaka sobrang importante sa kanila. Simply because yun yung pinaka magiging decision making nila. So, whether whatever happens to different sectors na to or yung mga factors na to, it may or may not change yung decision making ng Fed. So, kailangan nilang maging align dun sa goal nila, no? Yung pinaka top priority natin na kailangan malaman dito is yung kanilang mandate. Okay? Yung tinatawag nilang mandate. Yung mandate nila is magkaroon sila ng price stability and employment growth. Ibig sabihin nun, from inflation, ayun yung dito yung price stability, and yung employment growth, nandun naman yung inflation. And yung inflation kasi is connected yan, no? From employment, may connection yan. From consumer spending, may connection yan. And also sa GDP. Okay, yung employment naman is syempre may connection din 'yan sa inflation, may connection din 'yan sa consumer spending kasi most of the numbers na pinangkukuhanan ng consumer spending is most of them are nasa employment. And also this employment affects the GDP and GDP affect employment. Okay, meron silang different reason kung bakit sila nagkakaroon ng interaction at iba't ibang way or approach na kung bakit nagkakaroon yung Fed ng decision making in terms of their interest rate. Okay, ngayon, bakit ko ito in-explain sa inyo? Yung main goal kasi natin, maunawaan at maintindihan, ano ba yung next move ng central bank ng Fed dun sa next meeting. Kasi dun pala makakakita na tayo ng opportunity to trade once na nag-hold sila or naging hawkish sila or naging dovish sila. So, pwede tayo mag-sell, mag-buy, o whatever happens dun sa possible decision making ng Fed, we can enter in the market. Kasi ahead of time ito, no? This is considered as a leading indicator that we can use to decide whether magbabuy or magsisell tayo. So, later on, explain ko sa inyo ano yung market cycle that pwede tayo makapag-create ng decision through times na magkakaroon ng possible FOMC release in the Fed. Okay, so bago ang lahat, I just want you to also to understand ano ba yung mga catalyst, no? Pag sinabi natin catalyst, yan yung mga lalabas na news sa ating economic calendar. So, gusto kong malaman ninyo at maunawaan and kinategorize ko na din siya kung sa akaling halimbawa lumabas yung isang catalyst and ang nakakategorize pala siya sa inflation. Nakakategorize pala siya sa employment, consumer spending, and GDP. And ang pinaka-bottom line pa rin dito guys, no? Ito kasi yung Fed, once na nagkaroon sila ng information, ang gagawin lang yan, pag nag-react sila, no? Magkakaroon niya ng bounce back sa inflation, bounce back sa employment, bounce back sa consumer spending, and also, yung pinaka-bottom line natin ay dapat magkaroon yun ng impact sa GDP nila. So, lahat ng decision na gagawin nila, magkakaroon niya ng bounce back or impact dun sa GDP, inflation, and employment. For example, Fed rate, no? Nagkaroon sila ng decision making, nagtaas sila ng interest rate. Okay, nagtaas sila ng interest rate. So, it may or may affect the consumer spending. Kasi pag mataas yung interest rate, yung consumer spending, ang expectation natin dyan ay bababa. Okay? And also, pag yung consumer spending ay mababa, magkakaroon yan ng impact or effect sa inflation. Ang expectation natin dyan, pag wala masyadong gumagastos, inflation will fall down. Alright? Pag mababa yung inflation, ang expectation naman natin dyan sa employment ay bababa. Walang masyadong spending, walang inflation, and expectation natin for employment is going down. And also, employment may affect the GDP, no? Pag walang masyadong employment, walang masyadong consumer, mababa yung inflation. Expectation natin dyan sa GDP is bababa. Okay? Anong ginawa ng decision making ng Fed? Nagtaas sila ng interest rate, which is high. Then, ang pinaka magiging maganda lang dun sa kanila, which is hawkish sila, ang currency yung magkakaroon ng strength. Okay? Pag nag-hike sila, that is a positive for the currency, but not on the goal na nila in terms of economic, no? So, maganda siya sa currency, which is kaya tayo bumibili ng currency pag nag-rate hike sila because this is attractive to investors. Pero kung sakaling titignan natin yung factors that affected by that interest rate hike, dapat natin to, no, na bumababa yung inflation, bumababa yung employment, bumababa din yung consumer spending, and bumababa din yung GDP. So, that's the time we considering buying that currency. Okay? So, that's a leading indicator na pag alam natin na bumababa na yung inflation, bumababa yung employment, bumababa din yung consumer spending and GDP. Possible because of that rate hike, no? Nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag nating tightening. Okay? Vice versa, pag nagkaroon din tayo ng decision making, for example, they hold or they cut. So, maybe this is possible hawkish or ang pinaka-ano natin dito is dovish, no? So, ngayon, pag nagkaroon ng rate cuts naman, we are expecting that kung ang ating consumer spending is tataas, yung ating inflation ay tataas, at yung ating labor ay tataas. And also expecting that our GDP is growing. So, ito naman yung tinatawag nating easing. Maluwag, nagpapaluwag yung Fed na gumastos yung mga tao. So, since mababa yung interest rate, okay, pababa ng pababa and they dovish, so, expectation na natin dyan is more likely GDP is growing. Okay? So, hopefully clear yan sa inyo, and kung meron kayong katanungan, just comment down below para ma-answer natin yan, and we will create for the next video. And what we are expecting pag nagkaroon sila ng rate cut. So, maganda nga yun sa GDP, maganda yun sa inflation, tataas yung labor, and yung consumer is magkakaroon ng potential up, but that is definitely negative to currency. Okay, pag nag-cut sila ng rate, that is bad for the currency. Pag nag-hold sila ng rate, depende sa situation, pwede siyang maging good, pwede rin maging bad. Pag nag-hike naman sila, that is a positive for the currency. Okay, hopefully this is clear for you, and you need to observe this scenario. Okay, ito yung mga key catalysts, news releases under each economic indicator that influence Fed interest rate decision. So, isa-isahin natin. So, pwede nyo itong i-screenshot para masave po ninyo. And pagdating ng news report, ay pwede nyo din i-check kung tumataas ba, bumababa, or whatsoever. Okay, sa inflation, first dyan ay yung ating CPI or yung Consumers Price Index. So, pag pansin nyo naman, pag may CPI, nagkakaroon ng volatility sa market, nagkakaroon ng changes sa direction, and so on and so forth. Okay, meron tayong core PCI, core Meron din tayong core CPI which exclude foods and energy. Okay, yung pinaka-core ay hindi daw kasama itong food and energy. Ito naman PCE, Personal Consumption Expenditures. So kasama din siya. Okay, core PCE, ito din is Fed's Preferred Inflation Gauge. So ito talaga yung tinitignan ng inflation. In terms of inflation, ito talaga yung tinitignan ng Fed. Also, kasama din yan yung Producer Price Index. Okay? And also, import and export prices, kasama po din dyan. Wage growth from NFP report. So, yan yung mga tinitignan natin in terms of inflation. Okay, yan lahat ng yan. So, check nyo yan every time and kailangan yung ma-analyze whether it's nagtumataas ba or mababa ba at ano yung pwede magiging effect nito sa Fed decision. Okay, gross domestic product or GDP. Quarterly GDP growth, advanced, primary, and final. Advanced, preliminary, final. GDI or gross domestic income, business inventories, durable goods, retail sales, and trade balance. So ito naman yung mga tinitignan natin in terms of GDP. And sa employment naman, we also have the non-farm payroll or NFP, unemployment rate, JOLTS or job opening and labor turnover survey, initial and jobless claims, okay, at ADP, non-farm employment change, average hourly earnings, labor force participation rate. So, ito din yung labor, no? Huwag nyo lang tignan basta NFP lang, no? Tignan nyo din yung other factors that may affect sa Fed decision. Okay, consumer spending. Why it is important? Because nandito kasi yung pinaka-foundation ng inflation. Kung walang gumagastos, hindi natin ma-identify o ma-determine if people are willing to spend their money sa panahon na to. So, ma-identify agad natin if magkakaroon tayo ng taas ng inflation or mababang inflation. Sa retail sales, makikita natin dyan, pag mababa yung retail sales, mean we say, mababa din yung potential inflation. Pag mataas yung retail sales, we are expecting that the higher inflation may. PCE spending component, consumer confidence, conference board. Okay, ito yung survey din ito guys, no? This is all surveys that asking consumers that they may or may not consume their money to this time, no? Kung merong uncertainty, meron bang nangyayari, and so on and so forth. University of Michigan, Consumer Sentiment, these are all surveys. So, ito yung surveys na kung sakaling halimbawa is above 50, that is what so-called expansion. And pag nasa baba naman ng 50, that's what we call contraction. Okay? Credit card and auto loans data, kasama din yan. Personal income and personal spending. So, marami pang kasama dito, no? Pero ito, mga selective lang yung mga kinuha ko para meron lang kayong idea. Pero, pag nag-research pa kayo ng mas malalim, meron pang mga key catalyst na pwedeng maidagdag dito that may affect yung dun sa Fed decision. Pero ito na yung mga pinaka-core. Okay? Ngayon, alam na natin yung mga factors that affecting Fed decision. Ngayon, i-discuss ko naman sa inyo yung market cycle na tinatawag. Dito sa market cycle, doon natin makikita yung part kung saan nagkakaroon ng decision changes in terms of interest rate si Fed doon sa current market situation. So, ito na yung tinatawag nating economic market cycle and Fed intervention. So, sa current market situation kasi, kailangan magkaroon ng decision yung central bank ng Fed or any other central bank based dun sa current situation nila, no? So, pag hindi kasi sila nagkaroon ng decision making or changes dun sa kanilang activity, so, kung hahayaan na lang ba nila na magkaroon ng recession? So, yun yung ayaw na ayaw nila mangyari. Ngayon, makita natin dito is yung ating tinatawag na real GDP and yung time. Yung GDP kasi yan yung top priority ng Fed na ma-maintain nila or magkaroon ng magandang expansion. At the same time, hindi dapat naapektuhan yung ibang sectors while yung kanilang GDP is growing. Hindi kasi mahirap kasing i-balance yan, no? So that's why kailangan nilang hindi mo na mag-cut ng rates or dapat mag-cut na sila ng rate and based kung ano yung current market situation. So for this diagram or on this graph, kung makita natin dito, so we have the real GDP and time and also makita natin yung line na to. So ang expectation natin kasi sa GDP is supposed to be growing. Pero hindi kasi natin siya makikita na parang straight, isang straight lang. Kasi makita natin, tumataas siya, tumataas, bumababa, tumataas, bumababa. Wala siyang isang straight lang. Pero yung pinaka main objective talaga ng central bank is to make it grow. Kaya tinatawag natin GDP growth. So ngayon, nandito na yung decision making ng Fed. Kailan ba sila nag-i-intervene or gumagawa ng decision making in terms of the current market situation? So, sa GDP, ang pinakauna-una kasing maapektuhan po dyan ay yung employment. Okay, yung employment, yan naman yung nakakapag-apekto dun sa ating inflation at yung ating consumer confidence. So, kung babasehan po natin kasi dito, for now, for example, dito sa part na to, bumagsak, no? Nagkaroon ng drop yung employment. Ngayon, ang naging decision ng central bank is to cut their rate. So, bakit nag-cut sila? So, ito kasi, pag nag-cut sila ng rate, masusuportahan yung mga tao and also the businesses. Pag nagkaroon niya ng opportunity na bumaba yung interest rate, ang pinaka nilulook forward nila dyan ay expansion. What we need is to expand their business. Pag nagkaroon kasi sila ng expansion, tataas yung growth nila, tataas yung spending nila, at the same time, magkakaroon tayo ng new job opening. Maraming tao ang ma-hire, maraming tao yung makakaroon ng opportunity to magkaroon ng maayos na buhay dun sa kanilang economy. Now, after magkaroon ng rate cut ang Fed, nagkaroon tayo ngayon ng tinatawag na peak, which is this one. Tumaas yung numbers of labor, gumanda yung economy, gumaganda yung GDP, and so on and so forth. But then, tumataas naman ngayon yung tinatawag nating inflation. Okay? Pag tumataas yung inflation, meaning to say, gumaganda nga yung economy, no? That is a sign na maganda yung economy. But, pag sobrang taas na ng inflation, that is also bad for their economy. Okay? Sample, bumaba ulit. Then, nagkaroon ng peak ulit, tumaas. And that's the time, nagkaroon na ng cut or nagkaroon ng rate hike, no? Hike ito. Si Fed to fight the inflation. Okay? Ngayon, since nagkakaroon tayo ng magandang expansion sa kanilang economy, which is ito yung sinasabi natin sa kanila, pag tumaas naman yung interest rate, okay, mahihirapan naman si GDP na mag-expand, no? Kaya nagkakaroon tayong tinatawag na recession, okay? Pag nag-hike sila, ang expectation natin sa GDP is magkakaroon yan ng contraction. Kasi mahihirapan yung mga businesses na mag-expand, umutang, okay, magkaroon ng opportunity to make a growth and good earnings. Now, ang pinaka magiging factors, it may affect also yung employment. Ayan, pag nagkaroon ng recession, bumababa, okay? Bumababa na yung ating employment. Falling siya. Okay? Bumabagsak. Pag sakaling hindi napigilan yun ng Fed at tuloy-tuloy na magkaroon ng drop, no? Ito yung tinatawag nating throw. So, pag nagkaroon ng dire-diretsong drop sa market, okay, that is bad. Yun yung iniiwasan ng Fed or central banks na mangyari. Okay, so dito sa part na to, makikita natin, hindi lang basta natin titignan yung numbers of labor. I'm trying to say is that pag tumitingin tayo ng NFP, do not just focus on the number itself. Kasi pag doon ka nag-focus, hindi mo nakita yung kabuuan na factors that Fed is getting, those data, hindi mo siya masasabayan talaga. Maybe you can, by example, naging maganda nga yung number ng NFP means to say maganda yun sa USD. But kung mapapansin niyo through time, pag maganda yung numbers, nagkakaroon siya ng sample, maganda yung number. Okay, nagre-range siya. Madalas ito nangyayari. Nagre-range si gold. So, focusing on gold. Nagre-range siya. Tapos yung paglabas ng NFP. Okay, yan yung NFP. Bigla siya ngayong bumaba. Numbers are good. Okay. Pag maganda pala yung number of NFP. So, that is a good number, no? Once it's released. Pero yung pinaka-factors kasi that may affect dun sa decision making ng Fed, dun yung dapat mong i-determine or i-identify. So, sample, nagkaroon ng magandang numbers and from previous, from other data and so on and so forth, that is a bad for the USD. Okay? So, then, ang pinaka general agenda talaga ng mga investors is to buy gold. So, instead of dropping it down, since maganda nga yung numbers, pabaliktad yung nangyari, umakyat siya. So, dun sa part na yun, kailangan mong maging aware dun sa mga nangyari na yun, no? Kasi ako, based on my observation, madalas talaga ito nangyayari. Pero kung sakaling halimbawa, okay, hindi lang kasi NFP yun eh. Pwedeng meron ding yung consumer confidence, yung inflation, yung core PCE. So, other than that, this may be a supporting data. Okay? And kung sakaling halimbawa for this upcoming NFP, makakita tayo ng numbers, we are expecting that the gold is probably dropping because sa numbers ng core PCE, numbers ng possible inflation natin, it may drop yung price ng gold. Okay, this is gold. Okay? And also, dagdagan pa natin ng other factors that may affect yung mga investors. It may nagtitake profit na ba sila? Okay? Are they doing, nagpo-pull out ba sila ng kanilang sell ng buy position? Nagsisell pa rin ba sila? So, yan yung mga factors that we need to identify para makapag-decide tayo to trade. So, yes, we can do trade pa rin here. Kung mag-sample intraday trader ka, you just need to get at least 50 pips, 100 pips, okay naman siya. Kaya lang kung sakaling halimbawa, what we are trying to do here is good for position trading, for investing, and we are finding way para makapag-hold tayo ng mas matagal na position and makahanap tayo ng good opportunity setup sa trading. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say here now is that if meron kang idea on those or this data and alam mo kung paano siya basahin, you can take advantage of it. Pwede mong ma-leverage siya, pwede mong ma-grab yung other opportunity na pwedeng mag-boost sa yung decision making and makapagbigay sa iyo ng confident sa trading. So I guess that would be all for now. So I guess so that's all for today. That's all for today's video guys, and I hope makatulong ito sa inyo at mabigyan kayo ng kalinawan no dun sa ating current market situation at ano ba yung pwede natin maging decision making. And kung gusto niyo pong makakita ng or makapanood ng mga ganito mga videos, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share this video sa mga kakilala po ninyo. And kung gusto nyo pa po ng mga ganitong content, mag-comment lamang po kayo dun sa ating comment section at kung meron po kayong mga tanong ay pwede ko po siyang sagutin through video. Okay? That would be all. Thank you so much guys and good morning.